The escape pod shuddered as it pierced through the atmospheric layer of the uncharted planet. Inside, Benny gripped the controls with white knuckles, while Princess River of the Galactic Consortium sat perfectly still in her seat, her silver eyes fixed on the viewport as their mothership exploded in silent fury above them. "We're going down hard," Benny said, his voice steady despite the alarms screaming around them. "Brace yourself, Your Highness, River," she corrected, her melodic voice calm. "If we're about to die together, you might as well use my name." They didn't die. The pod crashed into a dense forest, skidding through trees that bent like rubber before snapping back. When the chaos finally stopped, Benny unstrapped himself and immediately checked on River. She was already standing, brushing dust from her ceremonial robes. "Rule number 1, she announced, her fingers dancing across her wrist communicator. "Never leave the pod. It has shields, supplies, and a distress beacon. Out there," she gestured to the alien wilderness, "we're vulnerable." Benny nodded, checking the pod's systems. "Agreed. Rule number 2, never trust the local fauna. Uncharted worlds are uncharted for a reason. Her people, the Valorians, were among the most advanced species in known space. Their survival protocols had been refined over millennia. Rule number 3, conserve energy. Help will come, but it may take days." "Smart rules," Benny admitted. As a human logistics officer assigned to the consortium fleet, he'd learned to respect alien wisdom. Humans were the newcomers to the galactic stage, barely 2 generations since first contact. But as he scanned the pod's diagnostics, his stomach sank. "Your Highness, River, we have a problem." The hull breach was small but critical. The shields were failing, and something in the planet's atmosphere was toxic. "Without the shields, they'd be dead in hours." "The beacon?" River asked, her silver eyes sharp. "Functional, but..." Benny pulled up the scan. "There's some kind of electromagnetic interference. It's only transmitting a few kilometers. For a rescue ship to pick it up, they'd have to be practically on top of us." River's face remained composed, but her fingers tightened on her staff. "Then we follow the rules and wait." Benny looked at the atmospheric readings again, then at the forest outside. His scanner had picked up something 5 kilometers north, a cave system, with a different atmospheric signature. Possibly breathable air, possibly shelter. "Rule number 1 says stay with the pod," Benny said slowly. "But the pod is dying, and we're dying with it." "Humans," River said, a hint of frustration in her voice. "Always so eager to deviate from proven protocols. My people have survived for 40,000 years. By following rules designed for normal circumstances." Benny interrupted, surprising himself. "With respect, Your Highness, how many of your survival protocols were written for a situation exactly like this?" She stared at him. "You're suggesting we go out there, into unknown territory, breaking rule number 1. I'm suggesting we die by the rules or take a chance at living." He pulled up the scanner data. "There's a cave system. The readings suggest it might be safe. We take the emergency supplies, follow the terrain, and hope the rescue team tracks our beacon's last known location." For a long moment, River said nothing. Benny could see the calculation in her eyes, thousands of years of civilization, weighing against one human's instinct. Finally, she spoke. "If we die out there, I want it recorded that this was your decision." "Noted," Benny said, already gathering supplies. The forest was like nothing either of them had seen. Trees with crystalline bark hummed with energy, and the ground felt spongy beneath their feet. River moved with practiced grace, her staff glowing softly to light their path. Benny kept the scanner active, tracking their route and watching for threats. "Rule number 2, River reminded him when something large moved in the shadows. "Never trust the fauna. They gave the creature a 6-legged thing with too many eyes, a wide berth. But when they reached a chasm with no way around." Benny made another call that violated Valorian protocol. He rigged a zip line from their emergency cable, tested it with his own weight, then helped River across. "Humans are insane," she muttered, but there was something like admiration in her voice. The cave system was better than Benny had hoped. Deep inside, they found a chamber with breathable air and even a water source, a bioluminescent stream that River's scanner confirmed was safe. They set up camp, rationing their supplies according to rule number 3 at least. On the second night, as they sat by a small fire Benny had improvised from local materials, River spoke quietly. My people's rules kept us alive for millennia, but they were created by a civilization that never faced extinction. Humans, your species was nearly wiped out 3 times before you reached the stars. You learned to break rules because the rules couldn't save you. Benny poked the fire. Sometimes the rules need updating. Perhaps. She smiled then, the first genuine smile he'd seen from her. When my father asked me to tour the fleet, I thought it would be ceremonial. I never imagined I'd owe my life to a human who couldn't follow simple instructions. If it helps, Benny said. I'm terrible at following instructions in general. She laughed a sound like silver bells. On the 3rd day, the rescue ship arrived. They'd tracked the beacon's intermittent signal and found the crash site. Then followed the environmental disturbances, the zip line, the fire. The human-made trail straight to the cave's dot as they lifted off. River looked down at the planet below. I'll need to revise our survival protocols, she said thoughtfully. Perhaps at a human consultant. Rule number 4, Benny suggested. When the rules are killing you, find someone crazy enough to break them. River's silver eyes gleamed. I prefer when logic fails. Trust human instinct. It sounds more dignified. Whatever helps you sleep, Your Highness. River, she corrected. And this time, she smiled. After someone saves your life, titles seem rather pointless. Benny nodded, watching the stars ahead. Sometimes survival wasn't about following the rules. Sometimes it was about knowing which rules to break and having the courage to break them. When it mattered most,